Holly, and welcome to the set of Muskegon Tonight Live. We are at the Smash Wine Bar and Bistro here this afternoon. We are down here today with a very special guest, and it was kind of an unplanned surprise. This is Chief Justice Bridget McCormack from the Michigan Supreme Court. Welcome to Muskegon, first and foremost, and thank you for taking a couple of minutes out of the day today to talk with us here on the Muskegon Channel about Family Reunification Day.
Yeah, thank you for having me on the show. It's well, first of all, I love being in Muskegon.
You do.
I'm here a lot.
You are.
Yeah, this is my third time for Family Reunification Day, but I've been here many other times.
What brings you over to Muskegon when you come?
An amazing legal community. You have a fantastic bench. You have a fantastic prosecutor. You have a fantastic public defender. You have amazing community partners, and the things that courts are doing here are really incredible.
Yeah, don't let the prosecutor hear you say that too much, because he's
knows.
he's right off camera over there, and I know, right? See, that's the ego. That's the part. And when he's one of your best friends, you know, you can kind of give the prosecutor a little bit of grief as well. He's going to bust his way in here on camera. I just know it. Because the first thing he said is, "Where's my invite?" And I said, "Dude, we'll get to you, okay?" That's how it works. But when he comes to these events, you should see people. They run.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, everybody's here having a good time. He comes walking in, and it's like cockroaches in a room full of light.
DJ over there. I'm
That's
out.
right. They're gone.
Yeah.
Actually, DJ and I had some plans to go see Metallica this last year, and Metallica called and said, "Don't."
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want him at the show, because it's going to ruin the whole thing.
I get it. Yeah.
So let's talk about Family Reunification Day.
Yeah.
This is a big thing for the legal community, because so often in the work that you do, it leads toward kids getting separated from families and things like that, just for a temporary amount of time.
Yeah, and sometimes worse, and it's hard. I mean, you know, the families that our family courts are dealing with, who are struggling with whatever set of circumstances has brought them to the court's attention, have quite an uphill battle to fight to keep their family together or bring it back together, whatever the case may be. And so a few years ago, Muskegon and a number of other communities around the state, although nobody does it like Muskegon does, started celebrating those families that put in that hard work and put their families back together. And it's a pretty incredible celebration.
When they get into a program like this, what does it take on the family's end of things to get this ball in motion, to get their family back together?
I mean, obviously each case is different, and you have a terrific bench, so they know, they try and figure out what is it that this family is struggling with. If it's an addiction issue or a mental health issue, or sometimes it's just they need resources. You know, people are struggling with resources, and so getting them the community support, and you have great community partners in your courts here. We really do. I really do. And connecting them to the services they need, so they can then put in the hard work to show the judge that they are the best place for their kids to be, which they are. I mean, anytime we can keep a family together, the data supports that that's what's best for them, as long as they can be safe. From a judge's standpoint,
that can't be the easiest part of your job, to have to make a ruling that affects families at that level. And I mean, you know, you're putting kids into foster care. You're putting that can't be easy. Judges are people too. It's
the judges and their staffs and the lawyers, frankly, who serve on this docket, who serve in these courts, are my heroes. I mean, they really are doing the work that is hardest in our courts. I mean, there's a lot of sad things happen in courts. I always say very few happy things happen in courts. I mean, every once in a while we have an adoption or a quick marriage,
or a superhero day or something like that.
But not very often, right? Usually people come to court because something's not going well, right? And it's these trial judges on the front line and their staffs, and then the lawyers who represent the parties that are taking all that in day after day, and trying to figure out what can we do to support this family and keep them together or put them back together, because that's what makes our community stronger when we can do that.
And that's what we need here. We really need more of that in Muskegon. We need that togetherness, and I've been preaching it for quite some time, that, you know, we need everybody from every corner of the community, you know. We can't be Norton Shores, we can't be Muskegon Heights, we can't be Muskegon and Orchard View and all that. We need to be one. And that all starts in homes.
Yep, we're all stronger when we lock arms and work on things together. There's no doubt about it.
Did this pilot right here in Muskegon?
No, I don't think so. Although
not
Reunification Day, but I will say, because Washtenaw and a few other counties started it the same year Muskegon did, but Muskegon does it bigger and better than any county I've been to, and I've been to a number of these Reunification Days. In fact, we do one at the Hall of at the Michigan Supreme Court in Lansing. We invite a couple of families, and we do one in June. But Muskegon's is different. They present awards to families and to other people in the system who have worked hard on this. Sure. The entire bench shows up. They're all sitting out there. All of the elected officials show up. All these community partners show up. They had music. I mean, they're not kidding around with their reunification day.
It's a good thing.
It's fantastic.
So you move on to the Lansing. You brought up Lansing a little bit.
Yep.
Talk about what you're facing in Lansing as the Chief Justice. What are the top legal things in Michigan this year?
It's a great question. Thank you for asking it. The Michigan Supreme Court's very busy. I've just been the chief since January, and I've got a lot of ideas, and I'm putting them to work. In addition to deciding cases, which we spend a lot of time on, that's what people usually know us for. We're actually charged with administering the courts of the state, and by that, what that means is I have an enormous administrative staff who report to me to figure out how to support our trial courts in things like this, in things like family reunification. So we're working on some big projects. We have an elder abuse task force. We're looking at how seniors are treated in our courts. We have a jail and pretrial task force that's bipartisan and state-county partnership that's funded all by Pew Charitable Trust, which is fantastic. We have all this money and staff that's not ours. That's going to be able to help us put some new ideas in place. Your prosecutor is one of the appointees to that task force. 23 people statewide.
There he is again. You see that? You say your prosecutor. It's like what?
DJ is one of my task force members, and I'm thrilled. I'm co-chairing that with the lieutenant governor. I have an enormous, aggressive task force on figuring out how to get access to justice for people who have civil legal needs. In criminal cases, they're entitled to lawyers, but people who are losing their homes or losing their kids or losing their benefits don't have a right to a lawyer. And I'm working. I have a 3-year goal of figuring out how we can make sure everybody has some access to some justice. And I got Jim Harbaugh to be my mascot for that.
Hey, how do you beat that? Jim Harbaugh, go blue, right?
Yep. So I have a lot of things going on, but I think they're all things that make our community stronger, and that's great. And that's the point.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. You come back anytime. I mean, you don't have to come over here on official business. You can just come back and hang out
until somebody slaps a PPO on me. I'm going to keep coming back to Muskegon.
Yeah, now he's looking at you again.
I know.
I know, right? It's a pleasure to have you here, Chief Justice McCormack. Thank you for taking a couple of minutes to celebrate our Reunification Day over here in Muskegon. I know it's so good to see families back together instead of that stressful, awful feeling when they have to be apart for a little while, just to get things straightened out, and for you to come over and celebrate with us. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All the details about Family Reunification Day here in Muskegon will be linked up, and we'll even say, you got a website, wouldn't you, the Michigan Supreme Court?
Oh, yeah, we do.
Oh, yeah, we'll link it up right here on the Muskegon channel. Thanks again.
Yeah.